Our next inductee, we're so excited that Michael Buffer was able to fit this into his schedule. He's probably one of the most famous sports announcers in history. His half-brother is a UFC announcer, Bruce Buffer. In 1984, Buffer developed the catchphrase, "Let's get ready to rumble," which we all know since every fight we've watched. His work was so admired by the boxing great Sugar Ray Leonard once said, "When Buffer introduces a fighter, it makes him want to fight." Buffer was formerly the exclusive ring announcer for the World Championship Wrestling, the WCW, main events including Hulk Hogan and many other top talents. During his career, he has announced the World Series, the Stanley Cup Finals, the NBA Finals, the Bristol Motor Speedway, the NFL playoff games, and the Indianapolis 500 and the United States Grand Prix. He has also announced many UFC fights, and we have a lot of UFC fans here. He has appeared on loads of not only TV shows, media, as well as movies. He's got another major movie coming out in motion pictures, so you've seen him not only on stage, not only in the fight game, not only as an announcer for various sports events, but also as a bona fide movie star. This man is a true legend of action sports and a true legend of sports promotion and sports announcing. Let's give it up for Michael Buffer.
His neck will keep this.
That is heavy.
You gotta get a shot with a gun, please. Thank you.
This thing really is heavy, believe me.
I will need help to get back to my room just to put it around my neck. You know, it really is such a privilege to be here and to be among these great sports heroes and athletes. You know, I'm not the guy that does the sit-ups and the running and the training like these stories you just heard. And I'm so proud to be here with Tim, David, Benny, the Jet, and Rocky. It's just, it blows me away. And I'm actually on the same stage as the kindergarten cop. But all I can think of is like a few years ago when I heard those words, "To crush your enemies, to see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women." Great stuff. And oh, yeah, who could forget that? Kindergarten Cop is my favorite one, though. And you know, to know what these gentlemen up here that are also getting this award today, to know what they went through and the training and the physical things that they've done to inspire others and to drive themselves. With me, I just want to mention, for me personally, there's a lot of luck involved in everyone's life. And I was born during World War II, and my biological father was in the Navy, sent off in an aircraft carrier to the Pacific, and my mom had to work. And at the age of 11 months, I went to live with a foster family and ended spending the rest of my life with this family. And it was a blessing. It was like a Leave It to Beaver life in the 50s and 60s and growing up in the Philadelphia area, and that was luck. And then at the age of 49, I run into my biological father, the guy that was sent off in an aircraft carrier, and met two great half-brothers, Bruce and Brian, and good luck there. Just great things happen to you. There's a gentleman over here, my oldest son, Michael Patrick, who in 1982, we were watching the fights on TV, and a ring announcer gave the final scores for a split decision. And he said, after the first two scores, you knew who won the fight, and it took away that drama of the third score, and the winner by split decision, and the place gets quiet. So it just kind of killed it. And my son says, he's like 13 or 14 times, says, "Dad, you could do that." Thank you, Michael. I guess I owe you a few bucks. I put together, not even knowing how one gets their foot in the door. We lived in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia area. Atlantic City had fights 2-3 times a week, and there was a big industry in boxing, and all these stars were there. And so I wrote letters to all the casino hotels, not knowing that the promoter actually hires you, or you have to get a license and all that. And the one hotel, at the time, after a horrible stint as a car salesman after being in the Army, and then I was a model. And so I had a headshot and a resume, and I sort of embellished a little bit and said, "I have experience, you know, announcing sports." None whatsoever. And the Playboy used to have the Playboy Hotel Casino, and they had regularly the Tuesday night fights on USA. And so the entertainment director, Toby Berlin, told the promoter, said, "Why don't you hire this guy? He's got this," and I kind of like hinted like, "The casino needs a James Bond image, you know," and I was such BS. And I got my foot in the door, and in October of 1982, I made my debut as a boxing ring announcer, and man, I was just horrible. I was like this, and flop sweat, and it was really dreadful. And it was 6 months before I ever got another chance to do it. And I corrected a few mistakes, and got my foot in the door, and became a regular on Top Rank Boxing on ESPN, which at the time was the #1 show on ESPN, and they would replay the fights 6-7 times a week. And it just progressed from there. And it's been 37.5 years of a lot of fun, and it led to being in films and TV and doing commercials and things like that. And again, it's a lot of luck. And but one of the best things I think I ever did was when I started, the ring announcers were introducing all their buddies on the boxing commission. 4 commissioners, 4 doctors, the executive director, the president, the supervisor. Now, what had happened was the fighters in the 60s and 70s and 80s started coming to the ring with music and a lot of action with the lights and all that. So the crowd gets all excited, and the ring announcer was killing the crowd with all those introductions about people they didn't care about. I mean, you don't go to a baseball game and before they introduce the starting lineup, they don't introduce the entire front office from New York. So I wanted something that would be comparable to "Gentlemen, start your engines." Man, you know that means the race is going to begin. So I wanted to bring back the energy for the fans when they would meet the stars of the show, the fighters, the main event fighters. And I tried, "Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts," and "Man your battle statement." Nothing was happening. And the great Muhammad Ali used to say, you know, he was just so energetic and everything. And I'm sure we all remember him saying, you know, "I'll float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, rumble, young man, rumble." And he would say, "I'm ready to rumble, I'm so pretty." And I kind of incorporated this line where I would say, "Let's get ready to rumble." And it was nothing like it's, you know, like I say it today, and it just, you know, grew through the years, and I got advice from different people in show business. When you say it, shut up, people want to react. So I started doing that, and I guess the rest is history. So, you know, once again, a lot of luck involved. I created, the best thing I did though was I trademarked it. So, Dr. Bob, I heard you use it earlier, my attorney. I'm just saying, you know. Just kidding. But I really want to thank, you know, Dr. Bob, and Fairfax, and the city of Columbus, the way they all just get together and put on this great event here. And Governor Schwarzenegger, thank you very much for, you know, being a part of this and your support of all the athletic endeavors through the years. And I see buddies of mine, hi Chuck, and you know, here, who doesn't even tell me he's in attendance, but he shows up. And I'm just really honored to be here. And so let me just leave you with one thing. Let's get ready to rumble!